On tonight's Fifth Gear, Jason finds out if his racing driver skills will let him pull off the most dangerous manoeuvre in aerobatics. And in a world's first test, Tiff chooses the definitive supercar, Enzo or McLaren. But we begin with a four-door saloon.
This is a rather rare BMW.
At first glance, you might not think so, because it looks like the legions of other 3 Series plying our motorways at warp speed. But come closer. No, closer still. Note the more aggressive jut to the front end, and the experts amongst you will detect those new wheels. Peek inside and you'll spot the sports seats and alloy trim. Delve even deeper and you'll find a lighter, handmade engine, bits of which come from the same factory where BM make their Formula One engines. This is the BMW 320 SI. It's been made to celebrate BMW's success in the World Touring Car Championship. It's a car for connoisseurs with strictly limited production and just 500 coming to the UK. BMW have added in all sorts of fast bits that they've learned about with their race car. The standard 3 Series is already the best handling car in its class, so the SI should be even better. To find out, we have fitted a V-Box which uses GPS sat-nav technology to work out the G-force in bends. We have come to a place where they build the best bendy roads, Wales. Now, our man Jason Plato reckons that his British touring car Seat Leon pulls a maximum of 1.7 G, so it'll be very interesting to see what a sort of normal road car pulls on sort of normal British roads. Frankly, anything over 1 G will be an achievement. That's the force of 1 gravity pulling you sideways. Guess what my G meter reading is? Guess what it is? It's 1.02. Oh, there's a lamb. Helping me with my lateral G is the fact that this car has got fantastic grip. This car's 40 kilos lighter than the standard 320, has tweaked suspension and a lower centre of gravity. So instead of spending my time going sideways, this car really just grips to the road and really helps me pull in, turn in, and get a good lateral G score. Back on the power all the way out. Oh, I only pulled 0.7 G. It's not enough. It's fantastic throttle response. Poof, bang on the throttle, bang comes the power. Lovely. BMW have ditched their Valvetronic system in favour of a more conventional throttle arrangement. And like the race car, it mimics the engine revs higher too. It's also got more power, up from the standard model's 150 bhp to 173. But we were still pulling out all the stops to try and beat 1.02. So I need sort of like a late turn in, bit of force on the power, hold it in. 1.05, fantastic. Now I really took the car by the scruff of the neck and went for one last banzai attempt. I have managed 1.1 lateral G. Not as good as Plato's 1.7 that he gets in his touring car, but pretty potent for this little package. The BMW 320 SI is a baby M3. Not too flash, but brilliant to drive. In fact, we're so impressed, we've decided to give one of these £25,000 cars away. We've managed to get one of the 500 bound for Britain, and to be in with a chance of winning it, all you've got to do is answer this simple question. When talking about a rev counter, what is rev an abbreviation of? Is it A, revolutions, B, revelations, or C, reverends? Call 0901 29 30 555 to enter, or text GEAR plus A, B or C to 81555. Lines close at midday on Monday the 7th of August, and we'll remind you of the numbers at the end of the show. Remember, you can also enter via the Fifth Gear website, which is officially brilliant. in my opinion.
Last year, we found out whether pilots make good drivers.
Hands on wheel. Try and put say, 2:45.
And drivers make good pilots.
Okay, you have control. I have control.
Although the fighter pilot found power sliding quite tricky, the delicate feel with the controls that racing driving has taught me meant I made a decent attempt at flying in formation and hovering a Harrier. We thought that was a pretty good test because it involved the most extreme form of aviation. But we were wrong. Because whereas fighter pilots try to stay out of negative G-forces, stunt pilots spend most of their time in negative G. By the end of the display season, their necks are several inches wider than at the beginning. Most people black out at 4G. An astronaut at takeoff endures 5G. But these guys operate at a mind-bending +12 and -6G. And the whole time, they've got to know which way's up and be able to recover in an instant. They're literally flying on the edge of control. So, this got us thinking. Is it easier to do stunts in this? Or this? To find out, Will Curtis, one of the few people licensed to fly upside down at 50 feet, will try and teach me the hardest stunt in aerobatics, the all-axis tumble, otherwise known as the Lomchevak. And I will try and teach him how to do one of the hardest car stunts, a 360 spin, otherwise known as the Plato Special. So, firstly, do aerobatic pilots make good drivers? We'll be using a Lotus Exige S. It's fast and light. With a short wheelbase, stiff suspension and pointy handling, it's easy to control and chuck around. A bit like a stunt plane.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to teach you this 360. Straight along, say, second gear, past the 180, and then continue going round to drive off in the same direction. Yeah. Now, that in itself isn't a difficult manoeuvre if we were just going to spear off anywhere, but we want to make it accurate, precise, and down a straight line. And that's the trick to it. You know, anyone can get a car to spin or go sideways, but unless you can get out of the thing, then it's no go. I'll drive first. I'll give you a bit of a demo. Let's hope I can do it right.
OK.
Come on. Right then, Will. First thing you've got to do is initiate a handbrake turn. So we'll be going in a straight line, put half a turn of lock, and then pull the handbrake, and let the car spin. And let's say we're going down this line. You don't want to let the car get exactly 90 degrees. So you're still on the handbrake, you've still got half a turn of lock on. Once it goes past 90 degrees, then clutch goes in, handbrake's off, and then you apply the opposite lock to let the front spin round.
Very good.
Second gear. So, turn, clutch it, opposite.
Very good.
Yeah. It's great fun, isn't it?
It is
We've
good
never been able to mess around in cars all day. Right, so second gear, quite aggressive. Remember, turn, clutch, handbrake. Turn, now. Nearly first time.
We almost got around, so we did it the other way.
Very nearly. But you can see, even though it's aggressive and everything's happening, it's that little last bit of touch, isn't it? That last bit of feel.
It's
I
all
guess the same as
finesse,
flying.
exactly the same as flying. It's, you know, it's the finesse and the timing, isn't it? It's what we call a cadence manoeuvre.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm going to have to look.
Done on timing. That has not worked.
That was lacking a bit of cadence, I think, that one.
That was lacking a lot.
Oh, brilliant, well done.
In fact, Will got the hang of the 360 quite quickly. Too quickly, to be honest, so we obviously needed a tougher challenge. So we showed him the quickest way to park in a gap not much bigger than the car itself. With a fixed target, it's all about timing. Lock the rear with the handbrake and steer into the gap to swing the car around. But it takes split-second precision or you'll miss the mark.
So, let's see how you get on with this flash man. I think we're up the curb, Will.
We'll give that another go.
That's about perfect. We need more stunts. He's too good.
Conclusive proof that stunt pilots make damn good stunt drivers. So join us later to find out if drivers make good stunt pilots when I try and perform the hardest manoeuvre in aerobatics.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in history, may we present to you the definitive road test on the ultimate road cars.
It's a dream. In one garage, you keep a 240-mile-an-hour legend, the McLaren F1. In the other, you've got Ferrari's finest achievement, the Enzo, a combined value approaching £2 million. Both of these cars are awesome on the track, but we wanted to know what's it like owning and driving them in real life on real roads. And now, for the first time, thanks to a generous fifth gear viewer, we can tell you. Chris Palmer is a self-made man who sees these delicious supercars as investments as much as toys.
Probably, for me, they're as good as it gets. The McLaren is probably a bigger adrenaline pump. The Enzo, if anything, is a little bit easier to drive.
Insurance, running costs?
I don't back horses, so it's a vice that can be cheaper than gambling.
With the cars back-to-back, we'll be able to tell you which gives the biggest thrill, which is the most expensive to run, and which drives the best.
Come on, this is our Enzo for a day. There's nothing like this in the supercar world. This is the supercar that looks more like a spaceship than any other. It's just stunning. And the closer you get, the more... I don't know, the more you want to open the door. And it just invites you, it beckons you to come. But the contrast is immediate from the stunning exterior to the almost basic functional interior. I mean, look at this hinge, a big alloy chunk of metal that's the door hinge, and I've got windy down windows. No carpets. Spend all that money, no carpets, but you don't care because you see things like race and mode set. Then you see start. Then you see a key. Lots of noises. Flip the pedals for N. Perhaps press the start button. My heartbeat's just got up about 50 beats on that. It's coming coming through the seat into my back and into my spine, tingling up into my brain. And I haven't even touched the throttle pedal yet.
It's a car that gives you goosebumps, but the experience is slightly dampened because you know one day, just like the F40 and F50 before it, the Enzo will be replaced, whereas the F1 will exist forever as the McLaren flagship.
Now this, of course, is a race car that's been converted back for use on the road, so it hasn't got all the luxury interior. I've just got to remember how to get into a McLaren F1. But once inside that brilliant driving position that Gordon Murray created, no beautiful dials in front of me, a race-spec dashboard, and this whole bank of carbon fibre surrounded switches. Time for some noise, well, music to me. Full race-spec master switch, ignition, fuel pumps on.
Now, stripped out for race spec, this car has lost like 300 kilos of weight, so it's lost all the sound deadening. So this is not going to be a quiet trickle when you drive the car. In fact, I noticed these headsets, because the only way you can talk to a passenger if you had one is with these. Hopefully I'll be able to drive without them, because to listen to that V12 in the back
is very special.
Ferrari recommend the Enzo is serviced every 3,000 miles or 6 months, with the bill coming to between £2,000 and £3,000. A new set of tyres is about £1,000. A 6,000-mile service on a McLaren can cost, and are you sitting down, £30,000. Everything about an F1 is telephone numbers. Even a small tin of touch-up paint costs 75 quid. Then we come to the petrol station. A day with these two resulted in my record ever fill-up.
Now, whereas the Enzo does about 15 miles to the gallon, with the McLaren, you're going to be stopping at these fuel stations a bit more often, because this car in this specification does about 6 miles to the gallon. How long is that nose and how near is that concrete? The funny thing is, I've now done some proper mileage in an Enzo, and it's nothing like what I thought it was. It's not an animal at all. It's calm, it's relaxed, it doesn't spur you on. It's a very pleasant cruiser. And I think the reason why you feel so relaxed is the fact that you know there's so much extra performance available. You're never going to get anywhere near its limits on the public roads if you don't bother to try. But I guess there's one button I've got to try, and that's the race button. Just to see how different it feels, because it does sharpen up the engine and the suspension. So we'll just have it in the rev band, 3, then just press it and... Oh! The steering is now, sharpened a tad. The gear change should be a bit quicker. Suddenly I feel a bit egged on. It's amazing what a difference one button can make. Oh my God, it's got no lock. It's got the racing rack, which is faster, and it's got no lock. Oh dear. I thought I'd drive this without this headset on, but it is so noisy, especially with the gearbox. In fact, if I didn't have this on, you wouldn't hear me speak. But I have to say, I feel a bit like a fighter pilot taking his F-16 down to the shops. This whole car just is saying, let's go, let's go. White circle with black vinyl lines across it, which means we can now go 3, 2. It's like I've got a huge widescreen television in front of me on a PlayStation game. Whoa. Oh, it's going to get me into trouble. This car is going to get me into trouble. I think these headsets on, it makes me feel more like I'm in a racing car. I've got my crash helmet on, I'm in racing mode. I probably need to take them off in order to calm myself down, to listen to all the... to listen to all the noises of the car. Oh my God. But getting back into McLaren is reminding me what supercars should all be about. And it's all about the driving experience. But most of all, it's just this stunning performance. Because I'm sitting in the most exciting, I say this is the most exciting road car ever built. You're still the baby.
We've had toys and monsters, sharks and superheroes. Now it's cars.
California, here I come!
Well, if you ever plan to motor west. Animation studio Pixar are about to release Cars the movie.
Faster than fast, quicker than quick. I am lightning.
All about a young racer called Lightning McQueen. The man behind it is John Lasseter, who's largely responsible for dreaming up hits like Toy Story and Bugs, and earning nearly £2 billion for Pixar at the box office.
The inspiration for the movie Cars actually came from my family. You know, it's a very personal story for me because my father was a parts manager at a Chevy dealership in the town that I grew up all my life. My mom was an art teacher, and I always loved animation. But I love cars. And so this is kind of like putting my two real loves together, animation and cars.
In fact, everyone at Pixar seems to like cars. They hold their own private motor show each year and are based right opposite a classic car showroom that provided plenty of inspiration.
When they found out we were working on the Cars movie, they were so great and responsive and very accommodating to us.
I love the teardrop in the hood, that's cool.
They would tell us when cars came in so we could go over and take a look at them.
This is $1 million car, don't lean up against it.
I went over to Fantasy Junction. They had a little car called the Messerschmitt. And I told John, I said, John, they've got a Messerschmitt. It's the coolest car with the bubble canopy. You got to go check it out. And he went and he actually bought the car. Now it's in the atrium at Pixar.
With Lasseter being such a big car fan, he was at pains to make every element as realistic as possible.
I wanted all the details to be right. We really sweated the details in the way the cars look, the sound of the cars, the colors of the cars, the racing, all the details of the racing, the way that they would drive, how they would, the line that they would take on the racetrack, you know, the moves, all that stuff. We really, really worked to get the details right.
For instance, Lightning McQueen appears in 14 subtly different types of red livery, from gleaming to slightly dusty,
you know,
to wet, all animated to reflect like real paint.
Oh, Red, you missed a spot. See it right there? In the hood, right there.
Help! Please, stop!
Excuse me. Hey, guys.
Cars has attracted some pretty big names to lend their voices, as well as Owen Wilson.
I got it.
There's iconic American racer Richard Petty.
Oh, hey, Mr. the King.
You got more talent in one lug nut than a lot of cars has got in their whole body.
Really?
But you're stupid. This ain't a one-man deal, kid. You need to wise up and get yourself a good crew chief and a good team.
There's also legendary actor and race team boss Paul Newman playing a classic Hudson Hornet.
Kid, you can beat these guys. Find a groove that works for you and get that lap back.
Good. Those are great. It's perfect.
It might not have the relentless humour of previous Pixar films, but the joy comes in spotting all the subtle car references, like the mountains that are based on Cadillac tail fins, or the brief cameo by Michael Schumacher.
Ciao.
A real Ferrari! This is the most glorious day of my life. Look, I'm Lightning McQueen, the famous race car.
And the grand finale is worthy of any live-action car chase movie.
How does a Porsche wind up in a place like this?
I fell in love.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man, every third blink is slower.
The 60s weren't good to you, were they?
Airbags are one bit of your car's equipment you hope you'll never use. But it's a great comfort knowing they're always on standby, ready to cushion the blow if something goes wrong. Every major manufacturer fits airbags. Even the lowly Kia Picanto has two as standard. You'll find airbags in steering wheels, seats, door rails, even bonnets. And now, somewhat improbably, in clothes. The Hit Air jacket is designed for motorcyclists. As well as the usual armour sewn into the shoulders and elbows, there's an airbag built in around the neck and back. The idea is that when you get on your bike, you attach yourself to it with this cord. Then, should you have the misfortune to fall off, the cord gets yanked from the jacket, triggering a gas cylinder hidden in here to inflate the airbag. It's a sort of life jacket for bikers. It's going on sale later this year for around £250. But we wanted to know if it really does make falling off your bike a more pleasant experience. The importers are so confident in its protective prowess, they've hired a stunt team to test it for real. Here at the well-known biker hangout, the Ace Cafe. So how are you going to be testing today?
Well, we've got a couple of different ideas. Probably high chair donut orientated, which...
High chair donut?
High chair donut. It's where you sit on the petrol tank with your legs over the front of the bike and you spin around in a circle.
But in order to test it, something's got to go wrong, presumably.
Yes, I can make it go wrong quite easily. Plenty of practice at that.
Brilliant. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
So our stuntman's ready and wearing his Hit Air jacket. The film crew's ready. I'm ready. Time to crash the bike. You look okay. Did it cushion the blow?
It most certainly did. No bruises, no scratches.
And all working.
Feeling good.
Excellent. Well done.
Thanks
very much. It's hard to tell from this test how effective the jacket would be in a high-speed crash. It takes half a second to deploy, which by airbag standards is slow. However, a similar jacket is used by Japanese motorcycle cops. And unlike normal car airbags, it's reusable. Simply replace the CO2 canister and you're protected again. The problem is that bikers are a fashion-conscious lot who tend to favour designer labels. And wrapping yourself up in an inflatable jacket also seems at odds with another thing bikers love, the thrill of being close to danger.
3 in the morning. And even though I don't get up this early, I've got something special to do.
I had a crack of dawn flight to Belgium for an exciting mission. I was here for a road trip, to pick up the new Ferrari 599 and take it back home to the factory in Italy. Tiff drove the car earlier in the series and was a bit disappointed by it on track, and I'm here to see if it works better as a long-distance cruiser. We planned a 1,200-mile route through France into Germany, across Austria, and finally home to Italy. I was itching to get going, but with typical Ferrari eccentricity, the car wasn't where it was supposed to be. After promises of only being 10 minutes away, I was told that the 599 hadn't even left yet, so we had to get a hire car and go to it.
61.
I must say, so far, the 599 GTB isn't exactly what I thought. It's more like a Renault Scenic. Yay, we found them. It's a really textural car. There's a lot to look at. You're constantly seeing different bits of it. Look at the inside, all this tone leather. Excellent.
Fitting our luggage into the 599 was easy, especially with a parcel shelf on the back.
Not a bad crew vehicle, that, is it? 612 Scaglietti, chase car for the camera.
Who said Ferraris aren't practical? Our convoy of cars worth nearly £600,000 was ready for departure. First leg, Belgium to Germany.
Woo! 100 miles in, crossed into Germany. That's a really easy 260 kilometres an hour there, which is quite a lot if I do the maths in my head. Really comfy car. It's a lot better than a Renault Scenic. Sorry, Renault. It just feels like a big GT. It just feels so comfy. And having started at 3:30 in the morning to do this, all of a sudden I've got my energy back.
To break up the journey and judge public reaction to the car, we headed for some quaint villages. One German man fondled the car out of sheer love. When he saw the beautiful V12 that comes out of the Enzo, it nearly brought a tear to his eye. We left the village behind and headed back to the open roads, but no ordinary roads. De-restricted autobahns.
That was 290 kilometres an hour. Absolutely rock solid, not a problem. This car will easily crack 200. So 290's what? 180. Quite quick.
The sun was setting, and it was the end of our first leg. In the distance, there was a glimpse of tomorrow's glorious twisty roads. After 10 hours of driving, I felt fresh as a daisy, because unless you're driving flat out, the 599 is a remarkably quiet place to be. Day 2. I realised I hadn't packed any clothes, and only one t-shirt shop was open.
Echt large, no?
Yeah. But it didn't matter. We were on our way to the mountains, and with mountains, you get tunnels.
Every time you hit a tunnel in a Ferrari, you should wind the windows down and give it some stick. It's one of those life-affirming moments. The first time you've ever got a Ferrari, take it to a long tube and drive through it at speed. If you're into engines or cars, it'll make the hairs on the back of your neck stand right up. You better just hold on for a bit, mate. You all right, Maggie? You know, it really is quite, I don't know, astonishing how quickly you can get up these roads, especially for a car that on the motorway was so comfortable. If I drop this down a gear and get on these brakes, because these are very sharp corners, front end understeers a little, and then we just fly around, and it's just so good, so good.
Except as a car journalist, you're resigned to never being able to enjoy terrific roads. Because the photographer wants you to keep driving back and forth around the same corner as he tries to get the perfect shot without any traffic in it. It was good to be back on the road. We were storming through Italy on the final leg. As we approached the 1200th mile of our trip, it was hard not to get a bit misty-eyed.
You can tell you've been on a good trip when you've got loads of little bits that you keep remembering. Just come down out the Dolomites. The sun was going down behind one of the hills. And I hooked it up in third gear and powered around a corner and just got the corner just right. The car dug in and it gripped and it didn't understeer. There's a little bit of oversteer. Everything came together and I just sort of think, it's special, man. I'll remember that. And that's what driving should be about. Remembering little nuggets of gold. Made me think this car is pretty cool. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.
Coming right up, I go ballistic in the most dramatic, death-defying climax to a fifth-gear feature ever. Two racing drivers make good stunt pilots. Find out after the break. Earlier on, we saw that Will Curtis, award-winning stunt pilot, make a very good stunt driver. His skills as a pilot served him well, quickly mastering 360-degree spins and handbrake parking. Now it's my turn. Will my skills as a racing driver enable me to handle 260 horsepower in the air?
So this is the Pitts Special, probably the first aircraft most people will fly when they learn a sort of serious aerobatics. Stems from a 1948 design.
I was going to say, it's kind of got that feel to it, hasn't it? Like an old look.
They say this is the most difficult aircraft in the world to land because it's like landing a wheelbarrow going backwards. Very narrow track at the front, steered from the back. But once it's in the air, it's a joy.
So, what manoeuvres do I have to learn?
We're going to do a stall turn. That's the first manoeuvre. That's a relatively simple manoeuvre. So you fly in straight and level, you pull up until the aircraft is going vertically upwards. Of course, it will eventually run out of speed at the top. At that point, we're going to put the rudder in. The aircraft's going to yaw over and come down again, and then you pull out going in the opposite direction. Okay. So that's the first manoeuvre. Now, if we get that one sorted out, we'll then try something a bit more complicated. We'll try a manoeuvre called a longevac. It's a tumble. It uses the gyroscopics of the propeller and the control surface.
That's the one we were looking at earlier, where it just looks like it's gone out of control.
That's absolutely it. We'll do a simplified version of that, and we'll start by going up in a vertical up line. We'll then put the controls into the forward left-hand corner of the cockpit, everything at once, as far as it'll go, rudder, elevator, aileron. The aircraft will perform a little tumble, and then eventually it will end up pointing at the ground again, and we'll come out in whichever direction we end up pointing. Now, the skill of this is if you do this in displays, you have to come out in the correct direction.
Right, but down like a display line.
Exactly, but for today, we'll allow you to come out in any direction.
Just as long as we come out of it.
That's right, yeah.
Right, OK.
a stall turn, we've got to gain some speed for the vertical. Yeah. Here we go, stall turn. And we get our speed up. Yeah. When we have speed, we pull. There's the vertical. Yeah. We're going up, applying a bit more right rudder as we come to the top. Yeah. And here we come to the top. There's the airspeed 0. Kick the aircraft over. You can see the smoke trail, and we come back down. We wait for the speed to build, and then we pull out. And pull to vertical now. Looking at the wings as you pull up. Harder, 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 harder. There you are, right. Up you go like that. Not too far. We're going over on our back a bit. Oh, ho, ho. Around we go. I have control. You have it. Now, what we did there was we just got... I went too far. Yeah, you did a different type of aerobatic manoeuvre. Okay, you have control again. Okay, I've got it. That's it. Pull, 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 pull. Oh, there you are, vertical. Release the stick. Bit of right rudder to keep the aircraft going up. That's it. That's it. Now, bit of back stick. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, I have control. You have. We're just entering an incipient style there. Keep that vertical. Keep looking at the way. That's it. Much better. Up, stick, now, stick. Now the rudder. Yep, we pretty much got that. That's pretty good.
Time to move on to the difficult Lomchevak, a Czech word meaning drunken bum, describing how the plane tumbles wing over wing while it flips tail over nose.
At about 110 miles an hour, we go into the corner. That's fantastic. It's quite soft into it, isn't it? It's not aggressive at all. No. Okay, you happy to give that a go? Yeah, talk me through it though. Okay, climb me up to 2,000 feet, because we just need a bit more height for this. And hold it, right, everything in the corner. That's it. Woohoo! Okay, and recover. Okay, I have control. You have it. Now you see how the aeroplane just began to get away from us there, yeah? Okay, you have control. I've got it. Pull. And stick in the corner. Go! That's it. Lovely. Okay, and recover. So throttle closed. Okay, throttle open and pull out. Well done. Brilliant. Excellent. Well done.
I'd done it. Just like the car stunt, it was all about keeping your sense of timing when the world is speeding around you. But let me tell you, the G-forces are just incredible. And for the following week, it felt like I've been beaten up with a baseball bat. So from now on, I'll be sticking to wheels.
Next week, there's a best of fifth gear to look forward to, with a brand new series returning in the autumn. In the meantime, here's a reminder of our competition to win a limited edition BMW 320 Si worth £25,000. Lines close at midday on Monday the 7th of August. And remember, you can also enter via the Fifth Gear website, which will be updated daily over the summer so you can see what we're all up to.
Next tonight, our Stranger Than Fiction documentary, How the First Manned Mission to the Moon Was Nearly a Disaster. The untold story of Apollo 11 is next.